Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and I'm not alone. I've got a Xeon. He's somewhere around here. Where is he?
Yep.
Oh, he's there.
We're sharing each other. We're sharing each other today.
Yes.
Whatever that means.
We're enjoying each other's company because
Yep.
there is a feature that has recently rolled out to the Switch 1 and is more specifically coming to Switch 2. We will explain in a moment. GameShare. It's not how you share games. Thanks, Nintendo. The naming convention is far from ideal, I would say.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Especially since they're introducing like virtual game cards and I don't know, there's just a lot of mixed messaging. I think, in that regard. It's easy to get confused.
It is. At the same time that they reveal and release a way that you can share games with friends and family, they release something else called GameShare.
They could have just called it like download something, download
or like
play.
multiplay.
I'm just spitballing.
Multi-stream, something like that. Because basically what GameShare is it is a way that you can have one copy of a game, one console, multiple consoles, but one copy of a game, and then share that with other people. Hence the share thing. It would make sense in a vacuum. So that you can all play multiplayer at the same time. If you had a Nintendo DS when you were younger, you would know it as download play. A very similar idea, but using very different technology. And it's actually quite exciting. So rather than having something you download from a host or anything like that and downloading like a sort of a stripped back version of a game, instead, the game is like rendered and is running multiple times on a Switch 2 and then beamed out to other systems as though they were, and this is from Nintendo themselves, a Wii U gamepad. It's using the same technology idea. Whether it's the same technology, we don't know for certain. You know, it was an interview, it's been translated, but it's a fun idea, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to like the local play implementations of this.
Yeah.
'Cause stuff like Nintendo Land was... That was such a fun experience for me, playing Mario Chase and Luigi's Ghost Mansion and even the Animal Crossing Sweet Days, I think is what it was called or something. Like those experiences couldn't have really been replicated with Switch 1 as we knew it then. But it gives me hope to see something, maybe not Nintendo Land, but games like that again. And so I'm glad they're doing this GameShare. But where I get concerned is the way that it's going to be implemented with the internet and just game streaming, I suppose.
I do want to be clear. Nintendo haven't announced a Nintendo Land or anything like that for Switch. Don't get too excited. Also, I don't know of any asymmetric games really. Like the ones you would get in Nintendo Land. But it is entirely possible, as Xeon said, using this new system. I suppose the only thing would be something like 51 Worldwide Games, where if you're all playing a card game, Uno, or whatever, Last Card, I think it's called.
Yeah.
If you're all playing that, you all need your own screen. So that's kind of asymmetrical, at least in terms of your screens, at the very least.
And you were telling me earlier before we started recording, but we have a list of the games that are compatible with GameShare so far, right?
We do, yes. So, 51 Worldwide Games, as I said. Big Brain Academy, Brain vs. Brain. Everyone was clamoring for that one. Captain Toad, Trash Tracker. I just said Captain Toad. Fast Fusion. Split Fiction. Ooh. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV, the catchiest title in the Nintendo Switch lineup, bar none. And all of these work locally, but some of them even work online.
It's interesting to see that some will, and some we don't know yet, like Split Fiction, interestingly enough.
Well, one we do know won't work online, and that's Jamboree.
Oh, yes. That's a good point. So you all need to own a copy. So theoretically, from what we know, so to help me also understand as well, so if someone owns Mario Party Jamboree, one person, it has to be on Switch 2, or the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and you've got other friends in the same room with Switch 1s, theoretically, you'll be able to beam kind of the gameplay to their consoles so they can play on their individual consoles. So you can all kind of do the DS download play thing, but with Switch 1 and Switch 2 hardware, right?
Yes, that's another interesting feature. So it was obviously it was released for Switch 1. You cannot use it with Switch 1, you can't be the host, as it were. It has to be a Switch 2 in order to do that, but Switch 1 can be the recipient. So that means that you can have Split Fiction on your Switch 2, and, friend, family member, something like that. They've got a Switch 1, you can just go, hey, do you want to play Split Fiction? And they're like, it's not out for Switch 1. And you go, au contraire, mon ami, parlez-vous français? And you can beam a version of the game to them as though it were kind of like a Wii U gamepad, as I mentioned before, which is a really interesting way to do it. And it has to be said, and they have confirmed this, the cast version, the beamed version, the shared version, for lack of a better term, will have downgrades, visual downgrades, be it frame rate, be it graphical fidelity. They don't go into major detail. They don't go into any detail at all, to be honest. But it is definitely, it's going to come with a hit. In the video that they shared, you can see that the host is running at 60 frames a second in Super Mario 3D World, but everyone else, they're stuck with 30.
Interesting. It's going to be really, I'm very curious to see how Split Fiction is going to look between, playing 2 players on one screen, playing 1 player and sharing or playing online with a friend versus, then playing and using GameShare with a Switch 2 and a Switch 1 or 2 Switch 2s. There's going to be so many different variations to look at there. And I suppose GameShare doesn't have to be like someone just always playing. Like if you're the recipient, you don't always have to play in handheld either. I would imagine you could probably still be docked, right? Or do we not really know that yet either?
I mean, I suppose there's no reason why you couldn't be. I don't see any reason why you couldn't also be docked. I'm going to have to try that.
Because, I wonder if 2, let's say, for a family scenario, could 2 kids be both playing Split Fiction in their bedrooms or something like that, and could it be cast throughout the house? I wonder if, the range will be good enough, or if the gameplay quality will lower, the further you are away from each other. Lots of caveats to this.
There are, yeah. It's definitely being treated as a sort of a just press the button and forget about it, which for a vast majority of players, that's all they need to worry about. Just press the button, stop thinking. A lot of people will get, Super Mario 3D World in 30 frames a second. They won't even notice. And that's not me being rude. A lot of people just don't, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's up to people like us to go, well, what's the signal integrity like? I need to get to the... And things like, testing frame rates, fidelity, and all that sort of thing. And I will be testing it, don't you worry. I'll be testing it thoroughly.
It's important to find those answers for us because we're interested in it, but also just for the people that, need to know or want to know. So
yeah, absolutely.
But we're definitely going to be...
There are a lot of people who start off... Well, everyone starts off not knowing what frame rates are. In a GameCube video we talked about recently, I didn't know what 60 Hertz was as a child. But, there's always going to be that time, when people want to learn more, and it's important that they have that information. But I do think, as much as anything from a technical perspective, I think it's really quite exciting because a lot of people seem to think that the Wii U gamepad was done using Bluetooth, and it was over Bluetooth. It's not. It's not done over Bluetooth. It's done using a highly modified version of 802. What was it? 802.11. I've got it.
Oh yeah, this is that version of Wi-Fi you were telling me about the other day, right?
Yeah,
is that right?
It's essentially using Wi-Fi 4, but a very customized version of it. And Wi-Fi 4 has a maximum bandwidth of 54 megabits per second, and a 480p signal at 60 frames a second is 422 megabits a second. I don't know whether the Wii U gamepad, what were we receiving? Was it always compressed? Was it never lossless? Guys.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Guys.
I wonder if this is the, I wonder if this is the better route. If GameShare and potentially, we don't know this, but the cloud streaming option is the better route. Because we did have a lot of games. Was it Clubhouse Games, I think, had the app. I'm not sure if It Takes Two had an app or how that worked. If one person owned the game, how the other person would play on Switch 1. But I wonder if this if them going with this cloud streaming is the better option. Because I think theoretically, most people probably don't want to go download an app to play a game with their friends one time or something. Maybe this will just the potential lag that will come with this, or the little caveats maybe won't matter as much. I'm very curious to test it out and see, though. It could open a lot of really interesting and fun and strange doors that like the Switch 1 just wasn't capable of.
Yeah, definitely. I think, well, also as much as anything, it's in a way kind of like a try before you buy kind of thing. As long as you know someone with the game, you can sort of be like, if they say, hey, do you want to play Super Mario Odyssey online? I don't know why they're doing a slight Italian accent. They're just in the mood for Mario. But, hey, do you want to play Super Mario Online, Odyssey Online? And they're like, I don't have a copy. And it's like, I've got you, son. You can play as Cappy if you like. And they go, oh, okay. And they're, player two's stuck playing as Cappy. But even so, it gives you an idea, and it's just a way. It's opening things up, and I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Even right with Split Fiction, maybe people will play and they'll see that the quality is bad. Potentially, we don't know. We don't know. And then they'll just say, this game's really fun, but I wish it ran better. So they'll buy a copy then, right? Maybe that is part of it too.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like the online stuff, I suppose it's similar to Steam Remote Play Together, which I've never used.
Oh, okay.
But that is the idea that one person hosts and they stream. But I'm fairly certain, I don't know because I haven't used it, but I'm fairly certain it only streams one screen. So it only works with, sort of a game like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like Overcooked, for example. You have Overcooked, you're all on the same screen, so you don't need to have individual screens in order to have a good time. It's all designed to be on a single screen. But with GameShare, it very much seems like two people are going to have two separate screens. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. I just really hope it's actually supported by developers other than Nintendo. I know Split Fiction has got it, but,
It is a good... I mean, you would almost hope Split Fiction would be one of those games, right? And I'm not saying that, that I'm not all high and mighty saying like, of course it was going to be, but of the third parties, it's good to see that one is supported, but it kind of leaves us wondering, right? If others will, because that is the only third party. Oh, and Fast Fusion as well,
yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
So maybe we will see more stuff. I'm trying to think of what other games I would really like to see use something like that. I suppose like
Mario Kart World feels like an obvious one.
Yeah, and that's interesting that we don't have confirmation of that. Maybe they're waiting to tell us in another Mario Kart World Direct.
Maybe, or it's not included because they want everyone to buy their own copy of Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds like the more genuine answer, yeah. But what? They couldn't just let everyone play as Shy Guy or something?
Oh, I love that about DS. Like, download play, it's always Mario Kart DS. You play as Shy Guy, the audio's ridiculously compressed. Great times on the bus.
We really have to do that sometime. I specifically want to hear the compressed audio, and I don't feel like setting it up at home just to hear that in a room by myself.
Oh, wow. Those were the days, eh? Those were the days.
Yeah. Yep.
But technology has come a long way and things are broadly better for me.
Mario Kart Open World. Yeah, I think so too.
But anyway, are you excited for GameShare? Are you still a little bit like, what's the point, Daddy-O? Let us know with a comment down below. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you call that subscribe button Daddy-O and make Xeon just get... And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.
I'll never forget that. You're not going to throw up on camera, though, right?
Yeah. Okay. What?
I said you were like, doing whatever with your throat, and I said, "You're not gonna throw up on camera, are you?" And you said, "Yeah." I'm so appreciative that you ran with the bit. That was great. Were you prepared to do that, or was my laugh just what made you like, "Yep, I'm gonna full send"?
I was not prepared to do that. I was thinking, what am I going to say for the outro? Oh, Sion's laughing at Daddy-O. I'll say it again.